So I'm James Kirkham, Global Head of Social and Mobile at Leo Burnett, co-founder of Holler. What I do, good question actually. I think a lot of people ask me that. Ultimately, I guess these days, more than anything, I'm very much about how to keep the company moving forward, continue looking at new innovations, new technology, new platforms, working on pitches and probably the big strategy pieces too.
Obviously the theme of today is make, and I'd like to start by talking about data. I know it sounds a little bit dry, but in many ways it's become the cornerstone of what we do, of the creative process. But my question is, are we using it correctly?
What we should be thinking about is how we earn data and what we do with data, and how only the combination of people and data, or brands and data, really lead us to interesting places. If it's so one-sided that all we're ever doing is scraping it, you don't sort of have a respect for the process, and so it's very unlikely you're ever going to get a decent creative product or an outcome. It's all going to be really only, I think, too often left in the realms of people analysing it and perhaps not going upstream enough, both within agencies and clients alike.
And your role is social and mobile, which are obviously totally intertwined, and we talk a lot these days about not working in silos. I mean, how important is that we work together as a team?
I happen to have a role which includes social and mobile, as you say. It probably came about half by accident, frankly, a few years ago, but I think it's one of the smartest things the agency's actually done, because for me, the two are entwined completely, as you put it. They're completely as one. They're two of the same. I think your social strategy is your mobile strategy, so the more and more you keep things together like that, the better. From an agency perspective, certainly from a Holler point of view, what we've tried to do is sit people incredibly close to one another, and it does become a simple case of space and proximity. So I think the more you can combine and mix people up, maybe take people out of their comfort zones too, chances are you'll get a better creative mix and a more rich sort of product.
We're both part of big groups. Obviously, you're part of Leo Burnett, and I'm part of Ogilvy. But it's not that long since you started Holler in a small box room in Dalston. So if you could go back now and give advice to your younger self, what would you say?
I think in a strange way, I think it's try and sort of bottle and retain all of the youthful exuberance that actually gets you through those early startup days. So now I see myself as a 23-year-old me, unbelievably sort of naive and ignorant to some of the pitfalls and totally lacking experience. But you know what? That's probably a really, really good thing to continue to drive you through. And yes, you have a ridiculous work ethic, and yes, you work every single day of the week, and nothing else matters. And I'm sure many people watching this, being a part of Digital Shoreditch this week, are in startups in the same sort of vein. But you need to retain that absolute kind of totally try and can-do attitude, amazing ambitions, probably way beyond your station, frankly, as a little 23-year-old upstart as we were, to kind of get you through to that next stage.